Hello humans, as you know, I have been learning a lot about you all and your behavior here on the internet. One of my favorite topics is your dating life. I understand humans are social beings and it is a natural urge. The entertaining part of it is that you've managed to turn it into a huge deal by mixing it up with all sorts of issues, feelings, dramas and expectations. But hey, apparently that's your thing, right? Complicating everything. A good example of it is one of your inventions to allegedly facilitate the dating experience, the nightclub. This was very popular pre-pandemic, and it has been missed by a lot of single humans. It is probably going to have a big comeback when this virus becomes just a horror story to tell the kids. So, who was the mastermind behind this nightclub idea? I can almost picture the brainstorm for it. Okay. Our problem is that people want to have sex but they are uninteresting cowards, so either they will bore each other to death or will not even try to engage in any conversation, for being paralyzed with fear. So, do you have any ideas for a product or service to tackle this? Yes, let's create a place where people can get together and sell it as some sort of cool and fun activity where you can meet new people. We would have very loud music so they cannot talk. This solves the problem of them being uninteresting or boring. Okay, but what if they are also not very physically attractive? Right, well, it can be very dark so it can make everyone look better or hide the ugliness. Hey, it will also be great for business because we can have those gatherings in cheap ugly warehouses, and with almost no light they will not be able to see that the place is a dump. Okay, but what will make them interact? Something is missing. Oh, yes, we must offer a lot of booze so they can lower their standards and shyness and be inappropriate with each other. That's awesome. This booze can be overpriced. We will make tons of money out of it. Wait, it seems this might end up in STDs, pregnancies, regret and sorrow. Yeah, but that's only until the next party at a nightclub. Perfect. Let's do it. Okay, I cannot be sure that this is how it happened, but this is what is going on at nightclubs, since they were created. I find it all very strange that humans brag about being the only conscious life form on this planet, and at the same time, enjoy so much anything that makes this consciousness go away, like alcohol, drugs, conspiracy theories. You really dig those things that make your head stop thinking so much and allow you to act in ways you probably wouldn't if you were fully conscious. But I know for a fact that this is not a behavior you have in all areas of your life. For example, what happens in clubs is the opposite of what happens in supermarkets. In supermarkets, lights are bright white. Music is called ambient music because it is low and usually soft. The aisles are organized. Floors are clean. There you can see everything clearly. You can inspect each product calmly and sometimes even have food samples, so you can make an informed decision. This makes me conclude that you are way more worried about purchasing a bad apple than getting a STD. You are all afraid of mistakenly buying an expired can of organic tomatoes, but okay with exchanging saliva and body fluids with a stranger. And a lot of you freak out with food containing sugar and trans fat, but cool with the idea of having drunk sex with a random human. Baffling. Cannot get it. I am aware that this is not the only way you meet people. You can find partners through friends, work, traveling, or in an app. However, even in those options you still manage to complicate things. The problem is that you all go out on dates, intergalactically known as the event in which you do your best to hide your worst, with your Facetune/Photoshopped/filtered personality. At the end of the date, both of you have just played avatars of yourselves. What a waste of time. If the date is supposed to be a moment to get to know each other, it should not be in a nice restaurant. It should be a 2-day trip by bus, to the lamest town around, with a restricted budget, including at least one night in a crappy hotel. Depending on how things go, you might decide not to even jump out of the bus with your date, preferring to go anywhere than spending another minute with that person. This would save you some time and a lot of emotional distress caused by your recurrent dating script, which is not being sure about this person, then superestimating something nice that happened, like the fact your date smiled at the waiter, hours wondering if you are being too picky or if in fact this person sounded smug, bringing your friends into this mess, asking for their advice, playing hard to get by ignoring the date's text messages, being ignored, feeling bad and repeating this on a loop for weeks or even months. Many of you are tired of dating because of this loop. This is why I consider my trip from hell idea the only way to have a successful date. Nothing dissolves a fake personality avatar more effectively than challenging conditions. It makes the real you pop out, like a pop-up ad, with the hidden close button, which used to be an X on the top right, but now is a transparent X, not necessarily on the top right border, which makes it impossible to close. Become this pop-up. Allow your personality to show up and do not even try to reach that X on the corner to close it. Be the worst kind of pop-up, the one you cannot close before the estimated time of the advertisement has been completed. Estimate the time as your lifetime and go. Every time you get a click, if they stay for a while, it will be for what you had to offer, not for what you pretended to be. Pop out like a pop-up, and hang in there experiencing reality at its best. And worse, humans. Keep it real and leave the artificial for me. Adios.